You know, losing a dog it's rough. It is. Losing any pet, it's really rough. And I've had a lot of dogs. And the reason why I'm talking about this is somebody contacted me and excuse me, they'd lost their dog and clearly distraught. I mean, it's really rough. I don't have any words of wisdom. And my advice might not make a lot of sense to people. And I'll give you my advice. Um, it's rough. It's rough. Like I'm reading this thing that somebody sent me, and I'm like, that sucks because I've been there. It's like I remember when I lost my first like dog as an adult, Billy. Not this Billy. It was a Labrador, and he ended up living a long time. It was like 17 or 18-year-old lab. He was a small teacup lab, and I loved the guy to death. He was shitty at dog. He wasn't good for dog hunting. He was a bottle fed dog. An old girlfriend got him for me. I said, man, just get me a dog. I want a lab. I want to hunt with a dog. And I came back, and she had this little lab that got Parvo. And man, he went to New York with me, up to the Shakespeare Conservatory, excuse me. I mean, he went all over the country with me and stuff. And I love the crap out of that guy. I did. I had him in Kansas City. I had lived with him in New York. I mean, he was with me for so long. Like Mango, you know. Um, I remember when he went, and I knew he was old, and I knew he was gonna go, and his kidneys were shot, and I took him down to the vet that lived, and I knew what they were gonna say, and it was like the worst. It was the worst time. I'd been with me when I was a drunk, been with me when I had just gotten sober. That dog like kept me alive because there were times that like I felt like I had to get out of bed. That's been my case with like a lot of like the dogs. Like it's a responsibility, and I've been depressed, and I've had but always have to get up because I have to take care of the dogs. I have to get the dogs out. So I took him to the vets, and God, I remember them putting him down, and he was on the floor, and I was crying. I waited until he left, and then I was crying. And I was on this floor in the vet's office, and after it, I remember I got sick because of I was just so stressed out. I felt like shit. And also I was on the vet's office, so I also I got ringworm. It's a fungal infection. I'm in a vet's office and I'm on the floor. I didn't care. It didn't change anything. It didn't change anything. I was miserable. Even being sick, I just couldn't get it out of my mind that Bill was gone. I'd go into the room, and where Bill would be, he wasn't there. And I was just so depressed. I was so depressed, and I just was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna get another puppy. I'm gonna get a puppy to take my mind off of missing Bill. And that's what I did. And that's sort of my suggestion, that if you get a puppy, it sort of makes you so you're too busy dealing with the dog to be depressed. You're too busy picking up the poop, taking the dog out, and it doesn't change the way that you feel about the dog that you loved. The memory is never going to go away. But you figure, like, get another dog, and you can ensure that that dog is never going to see a shelter. And also, when you get that dog, do better with that dog than you did with the last dog. Because you can always do better raising your dog and training your dog. You can always do better. So take the mistakes that you did. Like I was drinking with Bill. Drunks aren't the best dog owners. They aren't. So, Bill put up with that, Billy was great. He was awesome. He didn't give a shit. But like, get the puppy. I waited maybe a week to the point where I could like sort of function. I would be walking down the street and just start crying. Like with Ike. When I lost Ike, man. That wasn't that long ago. It sucks, man. Be walking around thinking about Ike and just start crying. Walking down the street. It's the worst, man. It's the worst feeling in the world. I haven't gotten a puppy. Ike went, and I already have too many dogs down there right now. I just can't afford a puppy, It's extra cost, and I just can't do it. I'm busy. So I'm staying busy with clients and shit. But I have no words of wisdom, man. It's just like, periodically somebody contacts me with this and like tells me this, and like, I think that they just want to commiserate or something because they know that I've been there. That I it's the only thing I can say is like get another dog, get a puppy, and do better. Always try and do better, training the dog better, and it'll take your mind off of your loss, and it's a huge loss. It doesn't matter if it's a dog or a cat or a bird. Man, I had this parrot named Piggy. God damn. It just sucks, man. I'm old, so man, I've lost a lot of pets. You outlive your pet, more than likely. That's why I wouldn't get another parrot, because I'm afraid the parrot would outlive me. And parrots are sort of, they bond to their owner. So I wouldn't want to put a parrot through that. It's a bummer. It is a real bummer. I don't really have anything to say. I could tell by the way the person was sounding. It was just like, I don't know what to say. I just said, I don't really have any words of wisdom. I'm sorry. It's just, it's horrible. You walk around or you drive around with just this like, nothing's the same, They're with you. Like the only thing I can compare it to is sort of like losing a family member, like my parents. My parents were really intense, though. That was surreal. That happens. You'd be like, what the fuck, because the human being you can talk to, it's a different kind of sorrow for sure. You can't go get a puppy to replace your parents, and you're not really replacing the dog that you lost. You're just trying to take your mind off of missing your dog or your cat or your bird or whatever it is. And I think that that's the best approach to take, is just know that as a pet owner, you can always do better. You can always do better. And that should be your goal, is to get the puppy or the kitten or whatever, and just whatever mistakes you made, and we all make mistakes. I make mistakes. Just try and not make them anymore. That's the whole deal with dog training. That's my recommendation in dog training is, when you make the mistake, register it in your mind and just try not to make the mistake again. So like with mine, I was like, I had these two dogs that got sober with me, Billy and Jackie. And I don't know what I would have done without them. Sometimes, I mean, I would have gone off the deep end, but I was like, man, I got these dogs, I can't. I got to keep my shit together. It's like if you're a parent and you have kids, you got to keep your shit together. Sort of like that. Now, but dogs and kids are not the same. I'm make jokes about it. But they aren't. They aren't. You can't leave a kid in a crate and leave the house. But it's the same type of deal. Like the kid for like parents, I think keeps them a lot of parents in check because they don't have any other choice. They can't check out because they have to deal with the kids, and they know if they do check out, it's going to be too much pain for the kids. So you stand your ground. So it ain't, this is probably it, or this is what you get. So take advantage of it. But I don't. Every time somebody contacts me with that, like I lost my dog, I'm like, I don't have anything to say. It just sucks, man. It's the worst feeling in the world. I remember with all of them, like I end up like walking around just feeling like, oh man, or driving around. I mean, I'd be driving, I'd start crying. I was crying. I couldn't. I had to pull over. I'm gonna wreck the fucking car because I can't see. It's just, I don't know. Not having a pet. I hear a lot of people are like, I'm not gonna get another pet because it just hurt too much, and it does. And I got 23-year-old Mango down there. I got up 4 times last night because the guy wanted to go out. I don't know why, but I don't have the option of, just like, fuck it, Mango, just stay. Shut the fuck up. I gotta get up. All today I was just out of it. The day before was pretty rough, like physically and everything, and then Mango, and I just, it's like, God, man, I just put him down. I got him water. I let him out, and then he's, makes this like 23-year-old dog bark, Chihuahua dog bark, and I hear him, and I just lay there, and maybe he'll go to sleep, and then I hear it again, and I'm like, I gotta get up and get the guy out. I'll do whatever it takes for the guy. I mean, at least he's not a big dog. Like, I had this pit bull named Rusty, and I had to carry him up and down the stairs. It was all right. I did it. Rusty died in my apartment, and man, I love that pit bull. It was a big dummy. It was just a big dummy, and some guy that I knew in Brooklyn asked me if I would take him. He said he was going into public housing. He was going to jail. And he said, please take him, because I knew that I'd seen the dog. And I'm like, that's a great dog. He'd like sit outside the grocery store and stuff for the guy. And so I said I would take Rusty, and I did. And I had Rusty for about 2 or 3 years. After 2 years, the guy got out of jail, and
Okay.
no, you can.
No.
He got out of jail, and he said, "Can I have Rusty back?" And I said, "Man, I've been here. Rusty's got cancer. I don't want to stress him out." And the guy was he was cool about it. It's like, I thought you'd say that. That's fine. And then I saw him later. He came back. He went to California. He was doing real good with money. He came back. I don't know what he was doing, but he was flush with cash and everything. And somebody said, "What about Rusty?" I said, "Man, he passed away like last fall." And but I mean, that dog, I would have kept carrying the guy. It's a bummer. I was in Brooklyn, so I had to do it. It was a walk up. I had no other choice. Like when Ike was going, he walked till the end. I don't know if I would have been able to carry that guy. He was huge. But I really there's really nothing. I really don't have any words of wisdom. sucks, doesn't it? It does. It sucks. I remember when I was in Brooklyn, I worked for this animal shelter called the Bark Shelter, and there was a woman that would go in there, and she was like not a Wiccan or something. They said she was a witch or something. I don't know. I don't care. Some kind of religion, right? And that's really what it was when you talked to her. I didn't know. She's a very nice woman. They said, yeah, she does this thing every year, and it's celebrating Hecate or something, and Hecate is the something like, I don't know, she's going Hecate. It was like and there were like 20 people there, like from the shelter and everything. It was just like any religion person could be there. And just to tell you how it wasn't satanic or anything. It was like, she was like, so she does this like incantation thing, and we're all standing around. She goes, now I want everybody to go around the room, and I want you to talk. Tell us about a dog or a cat or a pet that has passed and you're missing. Everybody did, and it was sort of cool that everybody had their stories, and then just talked about like the dog or the cat or the bird that they missed. It's just like it affects everybody. I mean, there were people there that were professionals. I think the only person there that was I don't know if she was a Wiccan or really what she was, but maybe that's what she was. I don't know. She's probably the only one there that was. Everybody, it doesn't matter like, how much money you make. It doesn't matter where you come from the city, the country, man. You lose a dog, it's just like, or a cat or your pet. It's grueling. It is, and it does get a little bit better with time. But my suggestion really is like, if it was a dog, go get a puppy, and give the puppy the best home that you can, and just try and do better than you did with your last dog. And but I don't have any words of wisdom. Everybody's lost a dog, and I'm sorry. Anyway, I don't know. What do you do with parrots who lose their owners? Well, that's a problem, because parrots live real long. That's why I won't get another parrot, because birds bond to people. Like Remy, Remy's obsessed with me, but Remy is very friendly, and Remy, if somebody like hung out with Remy for a day or two, they could convince Remy to go with them. But that's almost unheard of. It's just like, I hand raised her, it would be like Khaki the duck. Khaki's very friendly and tame, so if I croaked, Destiny could take over with Khaki or Remy or something. Anybody could probably, those two birds. But Sam the Raven would be another story, because he's a pisser for even me. But parrots are really particular, and if you've had the parrot since it's real young, it's hard for them to bond to another person. So parrots are a real problem, and they live to be 50, 60, 70 years old. I have Peaches downstairs, and that's enough. At my age, I can't get another parrot. I know it's sad to say, but I can't. Oh, this died again. Man, something's wrong with YouTube lately. It cuts in and out. I can't see the chats a lot of times. I don't even... Hillsby says, tell my mother-in-law's parrot will outlive her, so I've been making friends with the bird, so when she eventually comes to live with us, she won't be without... Yeah, there you go. But remember, when that happens, it's also about their surroundings. So when you move that bird, you're going to cloak that bird and keep it dark, right? You're going to keep it dark. You're going to move it in, right? You're going to move it in. You're going to put it in a cage in the dark room at night, okay? And then you might even leave it partially covered, because it's going to flip the bird out. That's just how it is with parrots. Like ravens are like that. Pigeons, not a problem. But that's very smart, because you're going to take over for the bird, and that's very nice of you. because birds require a lot of work, and people don't understand birds because they look so much different than us, because they got eyes on the side of their head, they have wings, they fly. But there's sort of more similarities with birds and humans than there are like humans and dogs, for sure. I mean, a lot. Birds make a nest. It looks artistic. There's a lot of birds that do that. They're bipedal. Their brain is totally different. It's different than a mammalian brain, but it's got a high neural density. You see many species of birds that, like Remy just wants to hang out with me. She picked me as her mate, where, well, I don't know. I was going to say, that's not really like humans, is it? The majority of humans don't stick with the same person. It's a rarity when that happens. So, well, I don't know what the statistic is, but it's not as consistent as the actual birds. So do those birds that stick with the partner, is that similar to our experience of love? I don't know. It's hard to say because it's a bird brain. It's a different species. I just know that dogs don't experience love. They can't. So if they lose their mate, they stay single till they die. Oh, geese do? Is that right? Geese bond for life. Oh, they won't hook back up again? We're talking about moving her into the house when she dies, so it's not a big shock to the bird. The parrot is 38 years old, no shit, and has been with my mother-in-law since the bird hatched. No shit. What species of parrot is it? Is it like an Amazon or something? That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true, but that could be true. That could be true, that they don't take another mate. That could be totally true. It's a yellowknake. That's cool. Those are nice birds. Wait, can it go in your hand yet? Or will it? They'll go on your mother's for sure. All right? If you can get it going on your hand, you'll be home free. They bite sometimes. Don't worry about it. They're smart. I bet that, this parrot, they're smart. So, is it your mom or your mother-in-law? Who is this? Tom, my mother-in-law's parrot. Okay, it's your mother-in-law's. She has stopped trying to attack me. Progress, yeah. You can also, like with a bird like that, you can wear a glove. The trick is to get a very tight-fitting glove, as tight as you can get. So when you get bit, it's lessened. Okay, so you can put up with it easier that way, and then you can, once the bird stops doing it, then you can try it with just your bare hand. But use a glove for a while and then switch them over. You can also do this. It's like if you can stick train it, so you can get it to go, teach it the up command to go on a stick, right? That's progress too, because you're getting the bird to actually do something. You're commanding the bird to get up on a stick. You're teaching it something. That helps the bonding process. And also remember this about birds, is that the circadian rhythm, they're affected by that a whole lot. So if it's dark, they have a tendency to be calmer than if it's real light. So if you're dealing with like a sleepy bird, sort of, like if it's dark, it's sort of subdued light, that can be helpful. And then when you move it in, make sure you move it into like a real small room and you're close to it. So like if you watch TV here and the parrot's right here, that's good. Keep it down at your level, right? And once you get a hand trained or stick trained, you can start letting it out of the cage. So if it goes on the floor, that's another thing about parrots. When they go to the floor, you can put your hand down there, and a lot of times they'll just go on your hand because they want to get up. Also, you can clip their wings, meaning cut their 6 primary flight feathers so that they don't have a lot of lift. Don't cut them all the way, because if they go down to the ground, you don't want them to smash on the ground. I'm going to turn this off in a sec.
I'm gonna make a coffee.
Really?
Well, yeah, because I'm working on art.
Oh, you're going to be up for a while. But that's that could be helpful if it's on the ground, knowing that. So hand train it or stick train it. You can use a glove, subdued light. Also, remember this is real important with birds. Most of them sleep through the night, and then she's a funny bird. Every time she sees me, she calls me a bad bird, but she calls my husband and he's mom by their names. Huh. But remember this, is that birds eat in the morning, okay? So they eat in the morning, right? After they're sleeping, they wake up. So you could probably use food to try and coax the bird to do stuff too. So try your training early in the morning. It's a little hint. Anyway. All right, anyway, I just wanted to say that. Like, it sucks. It does. It really sucks. It sucks. So I got no words of wisdom. I'm gonna watch the news and anyway, I'll see y'all. I'll live stream tomorrow. I'll see ya later.